8:30 p.m. I'm still monitoring in VK5, and so the trace on the left there is the Vortex antenna, and the trace on the right there is the 80-meter inverted V half-wave. The half-wave inverted V is a fantastic antenna, balance fed, extremely elevated. So I'm really excited that the Vortex antenna is giving the inverted V a run for its money. Now, for those that understand HF and antennas in general, then you'll understand that, of course, that doesn't mean that the Vortex antenna is winning everywhere. When I observe locally at the other side of a mountain near me, I'm up in the hills in the Dandenong Ranges in a village called Emerald, and then there's an actual very tall hill called Mount Dandenong, and on the other side of that hill, down that way in the flatlands, is a place called Croydon. Now, between me and Croydon, Mount Dandenong casts a very large shadow, but to get to Croydon well, NVIS is ideal. So, although the Vortex antenna here, the trace on the left, is doing fantastic out to VK5, as well as don't get me wrong, the inverted V is doing fantastic too, but the Vortex is winning. Now, when we go to Croydon, more locally, it's not super close, but it's relatively local. I'll come down to Croydon, and what you'll notice is the inverted V is winning because of where I am. I'll try and show you. So where you can see Cockatoo there. Well, I'm near Cockatoo, and Mount Dandenong kind of blocks me off a bit. Now, all of these balloons are in Croydon. No, this map isn't accurate. It just plonks them all over the place. All of these SDRs, I believe, are in the same spot, but it just plonks them everywhere. But yeah, Croydon is pretty much obscured by Mount Dandenong. So 3691 is the Vortex antenna. I'll just zoom that up. And as you can see, it's getting drowned out by the noise in Croydon. 3692 is the inverted V that's doing it quite nicely into Croydon, because the inverted V does have a lot of high angles. It's about 20 meters high, but that's only a quarter wave at 80 meters, so of course it's got some high angles, whereas the Vortex antenna is offering mainly low angles, and in that case is being absorbed by Mount Dandenong and very little getting through to Croydon on 3691. So we'll jump back to VK5. Let's see. Actually, instead of jumping back to VK5, how about we jump up the east coast a little bit? We'll go all the way up here, up into the furthest north SDR in New South Wales, Forster, New South Wales, and see how they're both making it up there. So 3691 is the Vortex antenna, and 3692 is the inverted V. So they're both doing a nice job up to Forster, New South Wales. It'd be great if I could sync the beacons. It does look like, the Vortex might be winning a little bit. It does seem to peak higher, but then again, no. Well, that's a hard one to call. They're both doing very good to Forster. What I'll do is I'll lower the ceiling threshold and see how it looks when they come back. Wait for the inverted V to come back. Alright, and now the Vortex to come back. It's a very interesting race between the top two, Forster and New South Wales. The SDR doesn't seem to be doing too well, probably my network. Alright, and now I'll jump back to VK5. Not much point in going further north. I think there's a lot of noise on the band, so I imagine in Brisbane it's just going to be far too noisy. But all my systems really lagging today. She's not happy. Alright, what have we got? I'll go number 2. So 3691, which is the Vortex antenna. And 3692, which is the inverted V. I'll reduce that ceiling. Wait for the Vortex to come back. And back to the Vortex. Wow, both doing very well. So I'm impressed with that, but I'd say the Vortex has a slight upper hand. Now I'm going to jump over to Western Australia. That's probably too early because they're still in daylight over there and there's a lot of noise on the band, so who knows. So we'll try this one in Collie, southwestern Australia. It's probably not on the correct band. I'll have to quickly change the frequency. 3691. Oh yeah, so there's the Vortex antenna. I'll just zoom in. Wow, so the Vortex antenna is making it nicely into Western Australia, and there is the 80 meter inverted V. And the Vortex antenna. I'm just going to try and get rid of some of this noise floor. I'll lower the ceiling, lower the noise floor more, see how they go. That's the Vortex, and that's the inverted V on the right. So all the way out to Western Australia, the Vortex antenna is winning. So it's very strong on its low angles, which is actually quite good considering 80 meters. So the same working principle could easily be done for 160 meters, 300 meters, and 600 meters, and offer low TLA. So that's about 3,500 kilometers away or something. Beautiful. Nice work, Vortex antenna. 7.3, and thanks for watching.